Hello everyone and welcome to a special Overwatch League special.
Double special.
Yeah, it's a special, yeah. Of Overwatch This. I'm Matt, this is Ben.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about the Overwatch League because it starts today, Ben.
It actually starts. It's actually happening.
I know.
I'm fairly amazed by it all.
We've exhausted the amount of oh, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be here. We don't know much about it yet. Because we didn't know much about it yet.
But we do now.
We knew almost nothing yet.
We know loads.
Quickly cover, basically a bunch of stuff came out yesterday onto the actual client. You can now get your Overwatch League skins. There's now an Overwatch League tab on the main menu where they also say they're going to embed the stream, which means we actually be able to watch the stream in game. It sounds like basically they're just going to embed the Twitch stream in game. I'm not sure exactly how all that works.
Because it's on Twitch, right? Which was something we didn't know, right?
That they actually managed to announce. But that also means that we haven't got Blizzard World yet.
Yes.
We don't have the balance changes yet. The patch that came out was 1.19, which we thought was going to be the Blizzard World patch.
Yeah, we said last week that you were probably going to be playing Blizzard World. We're sorry.
Yeah, sorry, you're not.
That wrong.
You've got all the Overwatch League skins instead, but yeah, you don't have that stuff. Oh, there's also the Blizzard World related items. Kaplan came onto the forums. He said the map and the items are in certification. They're in console certification, which should mean basically this next week or the week after, and that means that those are locked in. The balance changes have not yet gone to console certification because they don't know if they want to use them or not yet. So that's like the Mercy stuff and the Junkrat stuff.
Yeah.
What this also means is that basically, those balance changes do have a time limit on them, which is after the first 6 weeks of the Overwatch League, because they'll want to get that balance patch in to, the meta's probably, even people who've never watched Overwatch before, probably getting a bit stale by 6 weeks in. They said that they only want to patch between stages, in an interview with the Daily Mail yesterday, that was from Nate Nanza. So, they've got a time limit on when they can get those changes out, and that is 6 weeks from now. I doubt it will take that long. I expect we'll get that balance patch maybe early February, maybe later on if they decide they want to, they're not happy with those changes and they try a whole bunch of other ones. So that's what's going on with kind of stuff that's in game. Hopefully next week we can talk to you about Blizzard World. He also said there's going to be way more stuff than they've actually shown in the Blizzard World loot box update. There'll be skins that they haven't shown so far. What I'm guessing is those aren't legendary skins. There might be epic and rare ones.
Which is interesting because
stuff that people want.
Exactly, we've been asking for this kind of stuff for ages. So that's great.
So yeah, there's a bunch of that stuff that we haven't seen yet. Hopefully we get to see that next week. If it is in console certification, that really does mean that there's that they're happy with it and that it's good to go basically. So yeah, that's what's going on. Overwatch League. That's what's happening. It's happening today, and I'm pretty excited for it.
Absolutely. Right. As we go, League, skins. There are a lot of numbers involved, Ben.
There are a lot of numbers.
Here are the numbers.
Thank you for the numbers. So, I think the most interesting thing, so there's the skins, there's also the Twitch deal, right?
Yes.
The Twitch deal is $90 million for 2 years of being on Twitch. So that's Twitch have played Blizzard that, by the way. That's not Blizzard paying Twitch. Twitch have said, right, we want the exclusive rights.
I can kind of understand it, right? Because from Twitch's perspective, Overwatch is arguably one of the biggest shooters in the world, and it has got mass appeal. Like people that don't traditionally play shooters play Overwatch. Maybe it's this idea that people who don't traditionally watch esports. Jesus. They don't traditionally watch esports. Well, it will be eWatch now, won't it?
Yes, it's eWatch. Over eWatch. Anyway, yeah, so people that don't do that traditionally, as you say, might be interested in this, and it might actually improve Twitch's reach, their overall reach and their overall the stuff with that. Yeah, so it's $45 million a year. That is apparently basically the biggest exclusive broadcasting deal there's ever been. There have been other deals that have been esports related and related to similar leagues, like the League Championship Series for League of Legends. They did a deal that was to do with technology and that sort of thing that was worth roughly the same amount of money based on per year basis. But it is for
pure broadcasting, right? Yeah,
it's massive. There will be people at Twitch that thought they shouldn't spend anything on this. Yeah. There are sources that have said that have kind of come out on Twitter, but also obviously there are going to be people at Twitch that think, no, this is going to fail. People don't care. We haven't seen a massive uptick in Overwatch esports anyway. Blizzard don't have the best track record with esports. They haven't got something on the scale of CS:GO or Dota 2.
There are still people in our field, there are journalists that still believe that Overwatch can't take off.
Yeah, exactly. The
split opinion.
Viewership just will never be there. That the game isn't as big or as important as it was a year and a half ago. I think that is obvious. Clearly, the people who actually make decisions on what to pay and what to do
believe in it.
Yeah, right? Believe in it and think that it can go really well. We'll see how it goes. It'll be really interesting to see the first night numbers It's not on at a good time. It starts at midnight for us. I'm going to watch the first match and then go to sleep tonight because otherwise I'll be up till about 5 a.m. and I have to get to work in the morning. There are matches that are on at a decent time for us, particularly like London Spitfire games, and particularly like some of the East Coast games as well. But it isn't on at that prime time. You want to be on at about 6 p.m. UK, 7 p.m. UK, and then the guys in the States can watch it if they're home from work early, and they can kind of have it on a second screen. And then as they get home from work, usually that's when like the prime time.
So what time is it on for stateside viewers? Because obviously a lot of you guys are going to be in the States.
So it's on at a decent time there. So if it's midnight here, that means that it's 8 hours back. So it's 4 p.m. For the Pacific, or 3 hours ahead of that. So 7 p.m. for the East Coast. And then as it gets
the East Coast have got it.
East Coast have it at a really nice time for them, and West Coast have it at a fine time. Like by the time they get home from work, maybe they will have missed the first match, but they can get the rest of it. And kids that are coming home from school early or whatever, that's totally fine. It's also on at the weekends, so that's quite easy to watch. But it's not at the best possible time, which will lower the numbers that it gets. It's the first broadcast, that'll increase the numbers that it gets. It's Overwatch. We don't know what that means, really. Overwatch Apex, that sort of stuff. They've usually peaked. I think it was around 30k that they got when they were kind of really big. They'll want to see about 50k, I expect, like minimum, and they'll hope to get into six figures for the first day. Won't stay at that for the whole week, I don't think. So yeah, we'll see how it does. What's tied to all of this is the skins.
Yes, of course, because everybody has a skin, right? So every team has a set of skins, which we already know because we've seen them already.
Yeah, it's all the home skins.
Yeah. We can buy those now, right?
Yeah. So they are...
Buying is the important piece,
yeah, so right? You literally buy them. They're not in loot boxes, and the way you buy them is with these tokens, and you can buy the tokens. You can also get the tokens for free. Currently, you can get 200 tokens for free, which is enough for 2 skins. You get 100 from just logging into the game, and you get another 100 if you sign up to the newsletter. You can get details of that over on the website. We've got all the specifics and links that you need. The newsletter you can personalise to the teams that you're interested in, and no doubt you can just unsubscribe from it when you first get the email, and then you'll just have your skin, and you don't have them spamming your email box if you don't want that. So 100 tokens also cost $5. They also cost £5 because those currencies are worth the same amount of money.
Yeah, I've already lost.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's a lot, right?
You can also get 2,600, which sounds like a weird number, tokens for $100. I think it's about 88 quid.
Right.
2,600 tokens is enough to get all of the skins for one team. So if you want to buy a skin pack for a team, that is $100, 88 quid.
Right, okay.
You do all the math on that, 12 teams, 26 heroes, you end up with about $1,000 if you want all of it. This is pretty interesting,
right? Like nobody supports all those teams.
You would be mad for it. So there's two sides to this. One is that look at it like a normal sports league. You aren't going to buy every jersey for every player for every team in the NFL, in the NHL, in the NBA. And if you did, that would cost you way more than this does, because jerseys for those are like in the $50, $60 each range at minimum. You also, you're gonna pick a team, and then you're probably not even going to buy all the jerseys for that team either. Like you're going to go, okay, I've got a few favourite players, or I have one team that I really like, and I'll get the jerseys for the players that play in the position that I like.
Yeah.
Taking that over to Overwatch, that means that maybe you like, like I do, I like the Spitfire because they're my local team, and I like the Dynasty because they have the best skin colour. They have the best skin colour.
Okay.
Let's not pretend they have the best skin colour. And therefore, maybe I will get a couple of skins for those in each of the roles that I like to play. I like playing D.Va, and D.Va's also the Korean hero. Let's get the Dynasty D.Va. I like playing Tracer. Tracer's also the Spitfire hero. Let's get the Spitfire Tracer, and then a couple of others scattered around as I get more tokens from more different things. Because that's the other part, is you will get these tokens from watching it on Twitch. You'll get it from...
Oh, okay, so there is an earning system that you can get these.
They haven't given the specifics yet, and maybe it won't be tokens that you earn, but they would be mad to not use it to do that. You'll get tokens from Twitch Prime. You'll get tokens from going to an event. You'll get tokens from gifts given out at Christmas and for special events. And during the anniversary, there'll be a discount sale or something. There will be ways to get these over time, particularly if you're only interested in having 10 or 11 skins total. You'll probably be able to get those over the course of the next, I would guess, 6 months. That's how long
That's
the league's going to run.
That's the important thing to remember, right? It's not like Overwatch League isn't an event. We're so used to events in Overwatch being a 3-week thing. This is, we're talking a matter of months, right? This is a sporting event that runs for so long.
The Overwatch League runs until August, and then there'll be a second season and a third season and so on and so forth. So this is a long-term idea. And yeah, the tokens, they might even start distributing them to winning games during certain parts of the season, right? Like you play competitive when the World Finals are on, you get a couple of tokens for each win, or you get a token for each game played, or something like that. We don't know. It also isn't a loot box system, and this is something that's proving quite popular. because people really hate loot boxes at the moment, particularly because of the Battlefront 2 stuff that's happened. So, you know, you end up in a position where this is actually being received quite favourably, even though the skins are quite expensive. $5 for a skin is pretty intense. I was expecting it to be something like, at most, $50 for like a team. There would be like a team pack. But yeah, it's not a loot box system. You can just go, right, I want exactly this skin for exactly this hero. I like how it looks. I like that character. I can now buy that. And I can even get it for free if I do these couple of steps. One is logging into the game, one signing up for a newsletter. Not too hard. I mean, you know, how many heroes do you play? 5, 6?
Yeah, about 5.
How many team skin colours do you like? 3, 4?
Something like that.
Yeah, so at most you're going to end up wanting to get 15, 20 skins. Yes, if you just go buy all those, that's going to cost you 50 quid or something. If you just wait a bit, you'll probably be able to get most of those for free, I would expect. So that's kind of one side of it. The other side is, I mean, that is just a shed load of money. Like, if you're a completionist, video games just aren't for you anymore. Like,
see, this is the thing, right? Is that it's all well and good saying about how the NFL use it, but I mean, not to be too generalised, but a lot of us come in from the games angle rather than being huge sport fans as well. So we're used to collecting things, right? Like, games encourage collecting, and we want everything. You know, I want eventually to have all of the legendaries that are in Overwatch.
Yeah.
You know, part of me wants to have all of the skins for the Overwatch League because it's a sense of, it's Pokemon cards, isn't it?
Yeah, and similar to the Overwatch, you know, the boxes, and similar to Hearthstone cards, they can say as much as they like, oh, you're not meant to have all of them, because yeah, you aren't. You don't need to own every Hearthstone card. You don't need to own every Overwatch skin. But they know there are people that will. Yeah. And that maybe some of those people can't actually afford it, and they just like owning things. Yeah. And you know, that's this whole whale thing, and where all these microtransactions really make their money, at least supposedly, is people doing what you're supposed to do. Every so often they buy a few loot boxes, they buy a few skins, whatever.
But there's always that one
these
guy.
People that buy everything and that are really interested in getting everything, and some of those people can afford it and some of them can't. It sucks, and it just isn't the way it used to be. Modern world, glad that they wouldn't be able to make these skins if they couldn't charge for them, but it is a lot of money, and that is something that you need to kind of realise. The other part of that is that we're not done. We're not done with teams, we're not done with heroes. Every year there's going to be at least 3 heroes, I think, for the next 10 years, right? Assuming the game continues to exist. They're also going to be adding teams. And
how many teams?
Right, so this is the thing. Initially, I thought they were going to just be adding, 2 to 6 teams, something like that. There are rumours that next year they're just going to go all out. They're going to have the 3 regions. Each region's going to have the 12 teams. That's plus 24 teams.
Wow.
Now, let's say that's mad, and let's say my 2 to 6 thing is mad, and maybe they're just going to do the Europe region, right? That's at least plus 12 teams. Yeah. 12 extra teams, by that point, 29 more heroes. That's this whole cost again. Yeah. Maybe, what if they start redesigning teams? The NYXL logo is bad. I'm sorry, New York. It's bad. What if they start redesigning colour schemes? They decide that the New York colour scheme is too close to the London colour scheme, and that the teams, they're in the same division, they have similar teams at the moment, as in they're all full of Korean players. Maybe they decide that's too close and they want to change something. Maybe they get sick of the memes about the Florida Mayhem McDonald's skins and they decide to change that. What happens then? Now, hopefully, I think they would go quite consumer friendly with that because of the price
and
of
just
these.
Change what
and
you've got.
Basically, I think they would leave what you have and they would give you another skin that is the new version.
So you have like a legacy version.
Yeah, exactly. And, you can't buy the legacy version anymore, and then you have something nice. But what's the plan there? We don't know, and that's something that when you're spending this amount of money, if you're spending this amount of money, you kind of want to know exactly. Am I always going to have this, or is it going to change? The last part of this is, at least I think so, is that we don't actually know the revenue split at the moment. They've mentioned it in the past. They've said that we want the money from these skins to go to the teams. We don't know exactly how that's working. Other than months ago when they first mentioned this, might have even been a year ago now, maybe even before when they initially announced it, they said that they didn't, that it wasn't going to be like, okay, you buy a Dynasty skin and therefore Dynasty get $5. There's a couple of reasons that doesn't work. One, Blizzard needs to take some of the money because Blizzard made the skins. Number 2 is Dynasty are going to be more popular than Mayhem, right? It's just the way of it. They have the nicest skin color. They're going to be, finish higher in the league, that sort of thing. They're going to have more fans. Similar with Spitfire, probably similar with New York, Boston, that sort of thing. You can't have those teams just end up with shed loads more money because then it's just not profitable for everybody. Those teams are already going to be getting more money from actually winning, titles and winning stages and that sort of thing. So there is going to be some sort of split there where maybe it just goes into a pot and the pot goes to all of the Overwatch League as a whole. But they haven't given specifics on that. Hopefully some of that will come out of the media day from yesterday when people start writing up their interviews and that sort of thing. But that is another thing that I would want to know where my money is going when I was giving into a system like this. When I'm giving my money to Blizzard for a loot box, I don't really care. I know the money's going to Blizzard. That means some of it's going to Activision. That means I'm funding Call of Duty in some way, whatever. That's modern capitalism. With this, I feel like I'm funding the league, and therefore I want to know, right, am I funding the league? Am I funding my team more than other teams? Is my money just going to everybody? I don't mind any of those scenarios, but I definitely want to know which one it is, right?
So the overall point I think that we've possibly learned is that Blizzard are willing to change the way they do kind of like loot boxes and the way that people acquire skins. I mean, maybe if this becomes a huge success, right? This could change the way that we see how Overwatch is monetized. We might have a complete change. You know, they did it with Heroes, right? They completely changed the way that Heroes worked.
Yeah, yeah, and they went the other way in Heroes, where initially you could kind of buy whatever you like, and then move to a loot box system. The thing with loot box systems is that A, it's assumed that they make more money. That's pretty clear, and B, people actually do like them. Like, they are fun to open. The rules and the fairness and all the rest of that, that's all up for debate. But if it is proved to Blizzard, because shed loads of people buy these skins and they're selling loads of tokens and it's making mad cash, you could get to a point where they start selling the credits for the main the main skins, and I mean, obviously that would be super popular.
Absolutely. Anyway, that's everything we've got for our Overwatch League special of Overwatch This. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. But until next time, good luck to the teams that you're supporting, and have fun.
Go Spitfire.